Hello and welcome back to Benjamin and Jack's reviews. Today we are going to be discussing Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma and Coyote versus Acme, which Jack is going to do on his own. And I've got some sports news, transfers, and some results from over the weekend as well, along with discussing the latest film news from this week. So, Jack, how have you been and what have you been watching?
I've been all right. So I haven't watched much since our last episode, but I watched The Sacrifice, which I gave a 4.5, and I really liked it by Tarkovsky.
hmm
Um, then I rewatched Sentimental Value there.
Yeah, well, the first half.
The first half of it, and then I finished it on my own.
Yeah.
Great film. Better on rewatch, I think. Then I watched Camp Miasma, which I'll talk about later. Then I watched a film that I wasn't big on, Days of Being Wild by Wong Kar-wai. And then then I watched Coyote versus Acne, which I'll say my thoughts on.
Right, so I've watched more than you. So I watched The Departed. I think that it was very good. I like the premise and I like sort of the who can find each other first. And the cast is really, really good. Definitely one of Scorsese's better films. Was another Scorsese as well, but I don't think it's 4.4 worthy, to be honest. I then watched All That Jazz because everyone always goes on about it. It's the best film of all time. So I watched it and yeah, it was incredible. I think it was just that performance by Roy Schneider is incredible. It's like a self-autobiographical, but it's like he knows that he's messed up. You know, he knows that it's consumed his life. He knows he's had difficulties, shall we say. And it's like him sort of putting that all into film, which I think is great. Then I watched Perfect Days. Well, rewatched it. Yeah, I really love it. I think it's incredible. And then watched Sentimental Value. I watched the first half with you, and then I watched the rest of it on my own. And then watched Censor, which, because we're talking about Camp Miasma, I want to talk about this, which I'll talk about later, but it's on Tubi in America. And I was watching Mark Mo's review of Camp Miasma. He said this was something he reminded him about. And if you like this Camp Miasma, then watch Censor from 2021. It's incredible. So I recommend that. I then watched Smiley Face, the Greg Araki movie. I thought this was hilarious. Yeah, it was, I think it's only like 18 minutes or something. So good one. And then watched Teenage Sex, Death and Camp Miasma, which I'm obviously going to talk about. Then watched Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, which I thought was really good. Really liking Almodovar's stuff. I don't think it's one of his best ones, but it's definitely, up there. And I want to go and revisit some of those older ones. And then last night I watched Cape Fear by Scorsese, which is the other Scorsese I watched. I watched The Show, the new one on Apple TV with Javier Bardem, Amy Adams, and Owen Wilson. And yeah, I thought it was really good.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson. Yeah, that's all I've been watching. So we're going to be doing Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. So it's a 2026 American slasher film written and directed by Jane Schonenbrunn. I saw the TV Glow. We're all going to the World's Fair. It stars Hannah Einbinder, who plays Chris, and Gillian Anderson, who plays Billy Presley, with Jack Haven and Patrick Fisher in supporting roles. The film follows the filmmaker, played by Hannah Einbinder, who is hired to direct a new installment of the slasher franchise, Camp Miasma, and becomes fixated on casting the actress Anderson, who played the final girl in the first film. The level description is blood lust. After years of slapdash sequels and waning fandom, the Camp Miasma slasher franchise is handed over to an enthusiastic young director for resurrection. When she visits the original star and now reclusive actress shrouded in mystery, the two women fall into a blood-soaked world of desire, fear, and delirium. Jane Schonenbrunn first discussed the project in 2024, describing it to the New Yorker as a funny and grisly story. They also indicated the film would engage with the concept of even seen in horror classics such as Psycho and The Silence of the Lambs. Schonenbrunn intended to both honor and critique how those films, in their view, created and codified an idea of transness as monstrous. The director also likened the film's concept to a Portrait of a Lady on Fire, set in the Friday the 13th sequel. After A24 passed on the film, Movie came on board to finance and distribute the film in selected territory. The plan, B Entertainment on board to produce. Daniel Berkman of Scythia Films will serve as executive producer and oversee on local production services. Principal photography began in May 2025 in BC. Funny enough, you could tell the VFX team kind of messed up in one stage as they forgot to change it from, you can tell it's Canada if you know your GeoGuessr, I guess. There was something in it which made it obvious. and ended on June 19th, 2025. Shooting certificate, the Totem and McPherson Lodge at Camp Bernard happened on June 11th to 14th. Camp Bernard is located at Sook. Cinematographer Eric Yu shot the film on 35mm, marking his second collaboration with Schonenbrunn following I Saw TV Glow. The film had its worldwide premiere at Cannes 79 Film Festival. And yeah, what did you think?
So this has been my most anticipated film for a bit because, like, I really enjoyed I Saw TV Glue from 2024. And I really like the look of this. Like, I thought, so basically, yeah, this was really good. Like, this is one of the best, like, horror films of the decade. I would say better than Obsession. Um, First thing I want to say is this is like the most gorgeous looking film of the year. Like, I've been saying that since the trailer, and I still stand by it. Like, there are so many shots I love from this film. Like, it's just perfect. What else? For the performances by Hannah Einbinder, who I haven't seen in anything. I know she's in a TV show called Hacks, which is just not my kind of thing. Like, it's definitely for a Pacific audience, which I'm not a part of. Gillian Anderson was like the best part of this whole film. Like, her presence on screen is so, like, what do you think of her accent for starters?
I didn't mind it. It was a bit. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know how she normally speaks because I've never seen her in an interview, so I wouldn't know what she sounded like. So I didn't know if that was her putting on.
She has
voice.
quite like a soft voice. It's not the.
I don't know. I didn't mind it, honestly.
I loved it. I thought it made so much sense. Like, I've seen a few people hating on it, saying it brought them out of the film. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it added so much personality to that film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to get general thoughts, and then like I can expand more of like.
Yeah.
Jack Haven. What is it?
I liked it. It's like, even though it was horror, it kind of felt a bit sort of warm and inviting sort of atmosphere. It's quite warmly lit, especially indoors in the camp. It kind of feels a bit inviting, shall we say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what? What do you think? Do you watch Dead Meat?
No.
Well, like, he did a film called Sleepaway Camp, and like the amount of comparisons between Camp Miasma and Sleepaway Camp, I kept going like the Rick Dalton meme where he's like pointing at the screen. Yeah. So I kind of liked all the horror references, like the slashers and all, especially Sleepaway Camp, which I think is the main. I think Jane Schonenberg has said in interviews that Sleepaway Camp is the main, like, that and Friday the 13th, which I think are the two main, like,
Do you get the Portrait of a Lady on Fire comparisons? Do you see it? I think it's quite. Yeah. It's quite
obvious. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely did see it in the film. I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna let you talk about it because I'm really, it's big film. I think it's kind of hard one to sort of talk about. You kind of have to sort of experience it. I'm rewatching it tonight, but it's one of those ones you kind of have to experience, I feel, and I don't really know what to say about it, but I love the set design.
Yeah. The cinema was my favorite. Like, Billy Presley's like cinema house is so cool. You know what? The needle drops, bro. The soundtrack for this film is so good. And I'm gonna go on a rant. I despise Alex G's music. You definitely know Alex G's songs. I find them. He has two. He has Alex G and Alex G Offline, which you probably know. But he did like a lot of sad edit songs back in like 2022 or in 2023. You might know him.
Let's have a look. I'm just seeing this. You go on your sort of thing, and I'll.
Well, Alex G has composed now all three Jane Schonenberg films, and I think him as a composer is so good. Especially this. I think this like I love the score for I Saw TV Glue. This he's just fully like, like, this is just amazing, and he does a song in it. Well, he doesn't sing it, It's another guy, Paul something, but Pain is the Heart of Love. I won't lie, when I first heard it, I found it kind of repetitive because it is literally one fucking lyric the entire song. But I think in the scene it's used and just like how it sounds, it's like such a good song. Yeah, but no, the score in this film I really like, and I'm like, I can't wait to see more of like Alex G's composing now than his like music career. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't really.
I only recognize one of them, one of his songs,
Yeah,
but I don't know many of them.
yeah. He was like big in like 2022, 2023 for like
Yeah.
sad out songs. I think they're really boring. Like they're really fucking generic. Like I find them so shit. Like I despise Alex. Like he's like I liked him when I was like younger with like TV Girl and shit. But I kind of don't like those artists now. I call them like
Mm.
starter indie. Um, but I'm trying to think. But there's like also I won't spoil it because I don't think we're doing spoilers. The needle drops, especially the one. There's like a one with Long December by Captain Cruz. Oh my god, like that song or like the scene in general is so good. I think there was another one that was really good. No, I think that's actually no. There's one with Sade. Is it Sade? No Ordinary Love plays in one scene, and yeah, but no, I love the. I would say better needle drops than Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, which is like the one like everyone loves Matt Johnson's needle drops. I think they're fine, but I think
Mm.
this was probably like the best of the year.
Fair enough. What did you think about the sort of homage to VHS? Because even if you didn't, what if you've never watched the VHS in your life, you still sort of feel like,
Wait, so?
like the VHS sort of atmosphere.
Oh, I loved that. It made so much sense. Yeah, I got a notification. You see, so like when you were speaking, it just like lowered your volume so much. I was
Uh,
like, what the fuck did he say? Yeah, no, yeah, but no, I love the aesthetic of this film, especially kind of like I would say it had more of a 35. I mean, it was filmed on 35
yeah.
millimeter. Had this really like crisp look to it, which I love.
Pardon?
Um, yeah, no, I'm trying to think. What do you think? Oh, I didn't talk about Jack Haven as Little Death.
Mm,
Um,
really good.
Little, yeah, the physicality like he
Mm.
brought to the performance. I should, I should probably double check something before I talk about. Jack, they are known. I okay, better. Yeah. Well, they brought like such a physicality to the role, and
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I think Little Dev's character is absolutely the biggest thing that reminded me of Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, Sleepaway. Yeah. I don't think I've actually seen Sleepaway Camp, but I did watch the Dead Meat of it years ago, and it's stuck with
Yeah.
me ever since.
Yeah.
And especially now this film.
Mm.
I think the poster for both films, for Camp Miasma and Sleepaway Camp, like the in-universe poster, is an exact rip-off of. Now,
Mm.
I kind of hate slashers, but like this was like so good.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a
No, I agree.
slasher here,
You
but
can see, I was going to sort of point out and say this, you can see the influence from Peeping Tom because, the way that it's like when we see Little Death's point of view, it's from the point of view of Little Death.
oh
The
yeah,
whole thing of when they're doing the killing, you can see that, through the
oh
eyes of the
I
of
didn't
the
think of
not.
that. I did not think of Peeping Tom. Such a good film. Um,
Are there any sort of final thoughts you have? Or
I
I
really
don't
want
really
to
know what
rewatch
to say, to
this.
be honest. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I think maybe I should have done this after, but I
That's
just
what I'm
don't
trying to
really know
think
what to say.
because I've never spoken more. Like usually you like have a lot to
Yeah,
say in films, and I usually just kind of say shit.
yeah.
Like I have so much. No, the more money I say this, the more money you give Gene Schoenberg, I think the better their films get. I kind of hate the term Lynchian.
Mm,
Like Gene Schoenberg's films, they have this like so many ideas that like, and I want to go back to like World's Fair for a minute. World's Fair is such a contained film because it's filmed on a fucking webcam. It's such a like it's my least favorite because it's how
Mm.
contained and small budget is. Then you go to I Saw TV Glue, where they get a little more money, and they just like the quality of everything gets better. And like I think writing under a budget will restrict you. So the more money I think James Schonenberg gets, yeah, that's all I really have to say on Camp Miasma.
What is your final rating?
4.5. I thought this is like a really good 4.5.
For me, it's a 4 out of 5. I hope it'll go up because I really liked it. And I just don't really know what to say on it. That's why I've kind of just let you speak because I just don't know what to say. I mean, I like the atmosphere of it. I liked all the performances. I loved the direction that the story went, and I love the influences that you could see on it. And
yeah,
I
but it
love
is
the
quite
sort-
like I think it's felt like
it's an experience film.
I think it's one you need to like digest, like on multiple
Yeah.
viewings.
Yeah, 100%. Right, so now I'm going to talk about the football. I want you to stay in the call because I want to show you a video which the team posted, which was quite funny.
Right.
Um,
Why are we not doing film news?
that's after.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would be on the call then.
I'm going to start by doing some transfer news. So there's 2 weeks. There's just under 2 weeks left of the transfer window for the English Premier League. Obviously, in some leagues like Turkey, it goes for an extra week. So let's have a look at some transfers that have happened in the Prem over the last few days. Obviously, some of these might be going from the Prem to Serie A, La Liga, or wherever, or maybe coming from other leagues into it. Because there's so many leagues in the world, I can't cover all the transfers. These are just ones that I found interesting or didn't know, because obviously sometimes you follow David Ornstein. Curtis Jones has gone from Liverpool to Inter Milan for 30 million euros. Ezri Konsa has gone from Aston Villa to Arsenal for 60 million euros. I saw today, yesterday, that he was commuting from 118 miles from London to Birmingham every day for training there and back, which was just mental. So obviously he'd love to get a London move. So Troy Parrott obviously scored, did really well for Ireland, nearly got them to the World Cup. Went from AZ Alkmaar to Real Betis for 16 million euros. Tijani Rangers went from Man City to Al Qadisa for 61 million euros. Obviously, didn't really have a great season last year. Started off pretty well, but he didn't really get in Pep's plans, and obviously isn't in Maresca's plan as they've moved him on. Rodrigo Mora, obviously one the kid used on Football Manager when I was playing it because the game's dreadful. To Roma for 25 million euros. Zion Suzuki, who was the Japanese goalkeeper for in the World Cup, and I think he was at last World Cup as well, but he was really, really good in the World Cup. I haven't really watched too much of him because I don't really follow the Italian leagues, but in the World Cups that I've seen him play at, he's been really good, so that's no doubt a really great signing for Aston Villa, obviously looking to move Emi Martinez on, and so he's joined them for 30 million euros. Matteo Ruggieri from Atletico Madrid to Aston Villa as well for 25 million euros. Sam Rodri, obviously Ballon d'Or winner at Manchester City, scored the goal to win them the Champions League. I'm fairly certain on that. I know he scored in the final, but I don't know if it was a winning goal. I think it was. He's gone from Manchester City to Barcelona for 60 million euros. This is pretty much. He was going to go to Real Madrid, I think, and then that kind of got that sort of fizzled out then, and then he's gone to Barcelona now. Then Ferran Torres obviously scored the winning goal in the World Cup final for Spain. Also played for Manchester City as well. Has gone from Barcelona to PSG for 50 million euros. What's mad about PSG, right, is the French league. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's for PSG when you have a team of that quality. You don't need to be playing all your best players. So if we look at Arsenal, for example, because obviously they lost, they have to play so many matches because the Premier League is so competitive, and that's why I think they don't do well in Europe, because they don't do well if they got to the final. But I don't think that's why many English teams win in Europe, because it's so difficult to win the Premier League. You have to use so much energy every week because the quality is so much higher. Then I'm not saying I'm saying the gap between Bayern Munich and Heidenheim is probably a much bigger gap than Arsenal to Nottingham Forest, for example, or Everton. That's so it's very difficult to win the Premier League. So I think what PSG are doing is having one team that they can play in Liga, which Ferran Torres might be part of, obviously, and then one team they can play in the Champions League, which is what they were doing last year. Because if you look at the minutes Dembele and just their key players played, it's not exactly loads. But I'm going off on a bit of a tangent there. Christian Romero, obviously Spurs captain, last season, has gone to Atletico Madrid for 40 million euros. Some transfer news from David Ornstein. So Carlos Baleba obviously didn't have a great season last year. He was pretty bad, to be honest with you, but the season before that was incredible. He's gone to Man United for 65 million pounds, plus 5 million add-ons. Obviously, with Baleba, it's an interesting signing because Man United wanted him last season. You could say that one of the reasons why Carlos Baleba didn't do too well last season was maybe that Man United move was sort of lingering around a bit. And yeah, maybe that affected him, but they've got their target. Savinho, deal for the 22-year-old winger to go to Tottenham for £75 million plus 10 million add-ons. So they're also trying to get Omar Marmoush, and I read somewhere that because obviously 75 million for a winger that's not really done too well in the Prem and not really scored many goals in the last 2 years, that's a bit much. So, but what I think is happening is they want Marmoush as well. So, and I read somewhere that Frankfurt have like a sell-on clause or something if it's over a certain amount of money. So what they're probably going to do, and it's quite smart from Man City, obviously, they're really good at selling. I think they spend loads on money, but they sell loads of players as well. Even if a player's had a bad season, they can still sell them on for a profit, which is mental. So what they might do is they might say, look, if you will accept the lower bid for Marmoush, but you give us more money on Savinho to get over that, which I think may be happening, or Spurs are just stupid. So Liverpool make a second improved bid to sign Yakubu Minte from Brighton. Latest Liverpool offer worth £60 million after the first proposal of £50 million also turned down. Brighton understood to want more in the region of £70 million to sell the 22-year-old winger. Obviously, I know Arne Slot's gone, but he worked at Frankfurt, Feyenoord with Arne Slot. Obviously, you want that Mo Salah replacement on the right-hand side. Yakubu Minte is really good. Still got room to grow. Obviously, he's 22, so good prospect. Did well at Brighton last season. Obviously, they wanted Yan Diamonde, ended up at Real Madrid. And obviously, PSG wanted him as well. They also wanted, they're still working on Bradley Barcola as well, obviously, to get him on the left-hand side. But yeah, I can't remember who else they wanted to play on that right-hand side. I can't remember off the top of my head. So now I'm going to go through some of the matches. So basically, there's three games that I'm going to talk about in a bit of detail, and then the rest I'm just going to go through and talk about sort of the how it went and the scores, and because so Arsenal beat Coventry 3-0, light work for the reigning champions, and Arsenal defeated newly promoted Coventry 3-0 with goals from Havertz, Saka and Odegaard. This match just showed the gap in quality between the champions of the second tier and the champions of England. Arsenal dominated pretty much every statistic, with Coventry not finding a way to break down Arsenal defence. Coventry weren't able to get into the Arsenal box, only having three touches in the opposite box compared to Arsenal's 36. My man of the match for Arsenal was Odegaard, who got the third goal but controlled that midfield and made some good defensive contributions. So on Saturday, we had a pretty big upset. Obviously, Hull are pretty much expected to go down. I mean, last season, they were meant to go down from Championship. There's a famous quote from the manager said, when they got promoted, said, I was hired to keep us in the division, and I failed that because obviously they got promoted. But yeah, surprising was Hull that picked up the 3 points. Hull got promoted last year for the playoffs, even that was a shock, and most people expect them to go down. Hull didn't even need to control the pressure. That was United's job, but they couldn't break down Hull's low block. Hull won the game with loads of goals from Ayai and Mendy, respectively. Both goals were scored in the first half. My man of the match was Konstantinos Zoulakis, who was a new signing from Olympiacos. He was a goalkeeper and made 5 saves and won all his aerial and ground duels. Some things I haven't mentioned there. United want to play in transition. You have Mbumo, you have Mateus Cunha and Ahmad, who all like that ball over the top. And obviously, when you're playing against Hull, you're not going to get that because they want United to have the ball, and United just don't have the players to break down a low block. I mean, that's what you saw with Man City a few years ago. Not that they weren't able to break down a low block, because they obviously could, but they sort of struggled with that at times. And I think what helps is having someone that's really good 1v1 that's, that helps. And obviously they are good 1v1. So this is just the other day, as well, like the last 2 hours when Hull beat Manchester United. There's a video they posted on Twitter and TikTok and stuff.
Hull City against Manchester United. 17:38. I'm like, hey, what's up? Sit your pretty ass soon as you came in the
Oh, get out! We're losing to Bumblebee FC! It's 2-0!
2-0 down.
You're being mauled by the Tigers.
I mean, yeah, just
Anything release.
So next game I'm going to talk about is Cardiff City 2 versus Derby County 2. That's 2 draws out of Cardiff, 30 game back in the second tier, with Ruben Cole rescuing a late equaliser for Cardiff in the 96th minute against Wrexham. Cardiff City opened the score with Keane Ashford before Derby got one back with Morris. Salek put the Bluebirds 2-1 up going into half-time. Just after the restart, Derby equalised to Clark. Cardiff played well. I think we would have won if we had a centre-back. This NG and Bagan, who are right back and left back. Obviously, I think Bagan was quite good as that left-sided centre-back, but we definitely needed a centre-back just because I think both goals were mistakes. I don't think I really could have blamed Trott for any of those. He was still pretty good as well. Preferably want another 6, a centre-back and a winger that can take over. Some of our wingers can be fairly inconsistent at times. And preferably I'd like to have someone that can play across the front three, similar to Kellyman, who was on loan last season. Trot and Go are solid. I don't think I can fault him for too much of the goals, as they were problems with the centre halves. Salek scoring again. Unfortunately, the new sign Jack Moyney came off with an injury. Brian Murphy said after the match they had a dead leg and he would be fine. So that's good news, hopefully. But yeah, looked like he did his hamstring at the time. Cardiff City man of the match was Ruben Colwell. Made a lot of tricky passes in the middle of the pitch. Great technical quality and got an assist as well. Only played for an hour. He had some injury wobbles over the preseason and wasn't fully fit. So if he was playing like that, well, playing like that against Wrexham as well, hopefully he can be incredible for us. He was great last season. But yeah, definitely need some new signings. But I think considering the circumstances, we have lots of injury problems at the back. I think we play really well. The problem we have is our defense is just a bit shaky at the minute, which obviously when you have left backs playing at centre back, then you're going to get that. But we definitely need cover. Obviously, Dylan Lawler's been out all pre-season with a knee injury. Osho was left. We've seen leaving on crutches after Wrexham. Cam Chambers, I think he was back in training. He was seen training on the Friday, but didn't end up I don't think he was in the squad. I don't think we had a centre back on the bench or a defender on the bench for that matter. But here's the other results. So from Saturday in the Premier League, Everton beat Crystal Palace 2-0, Ipswich 2, Sunderland 1, Nottingham Forest lost to Leeds 1-0, and Brentford beat Spurs 3-0, which was the shot. Obviously, Spurs spent lots of money. Roberto De Zerbi has got his full season, got a full pre-season, kept them up last season. So that was really surprising because they have Tonali, they got Mateus Fernandes, got trying to think who else they signed, because they signed loads of players, but Keith Andrews, Brentford just absolutely just destroyed them. Obviously, Igor Thiago missed the penalty. I mean, he plays awful whenever the game's televised, but it's that random 3 p.m. kickoff that no one's watching where he just scores like 3 goals. So in the Championship, Birmingham drew to Bristol City 2-2 just at the Cardiff game. Lincoln lost to Portsmouth 3-1. Millwall beat Norwich 3-0. Blackburn beat Middlesbrough 2-1. Wolves beat Preston 3-1. QPR and Bolton ended in a 0-0 draw, as did Swansea versus Sheffield United. Southampton beat Stoke 2-1. West Ham lost to Charlton 2-1, which are very surprising. Jack, again, I have to mute you because I keep hearing what your screen is doing. And then Wrexham drew to Watford 1-1. From Sunday, Brighton beat Aston Villa 4-0, which was incredibly surprising. I'm just going to get a quote from also, there's a weird situation going on with Jean-Philippe Mintet, obviously at Palace. striker. So there was a contract dispute that was closed, with the striker's current deal still binding from the Premier League's tribunal and FIFA charges. He's basically going and saying that the last month's on his contract were invalid or something. I don't really know. But I'm going to get the Unai Emery. I am Unai. Quote, and I'm going to show that. So let me just get that up. Let me just. Obviously, we have the famous markup as quote as well. So I'm just going to share this. Yeah.
Supporters will see there's no Ollie Watkins in the squad. What can you tell them about that? Is that the end of his time here? Silence. Does that maybe suggest something?
No. We are the players we are today here. It's okay. We are not speaking about.
Supporters will.
So yeah. I got to hurry up now. But yeah, obviously that was a really shocking result. Obviously got 4 in the first half, and nothing really happened in the second half. Man City got a late winner, and both goals were really late. To be fair, I think Marco Rosa's Bournemouth will be a bit disappointed about that. And obviously, Liverpool rescued a late point with a penalty at Newcastle. And in the Championship, West Brom beat Burnley 3-1. So now on to some film news. Jack, you can unmute yourself and not watch whatever you're watching.
You want to know the thing was that I only had Letterboxd up, literally.
Really? Because I kept hearing talking from your thing. So I thought you were watching something.
Talking?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You sure it's not coming from your room? Because the only thing I heard was my fan.
Oh, that's probably what it was.
Because see where my phone is, it's right up to my PC.
That's probably what it was.
Because I then did this, and that's the only thing I could hear.
What it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was wondering, fuck you mean I'm watching it? All right, yeah.
So we had the first look at the Pit Season 3. I really like the Pit Season 1 and 2, obviously. I haven't seen the trailer for the Pit Season 3, but yeah. So, yeah. The Odyssey will release on digital on November 17th, 4 months after its theatrical release. Obviously, it's the same days it's going on physical, which is good. Yeah. The Jimmy Olsen series is officially titled The People vs. Gorilla Grodd. This follows Grodd. This series follows Jimmy Olsen investigating if Gorilla Grodd was wrongfully convicted of murdering his father, the king of Gorilla City. Is that the guy from Superman?
Jimmy Olsen, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's his mate.
Yeah. I just wanted to. Yeah. So Dave Bautista will officially start as Kratos in the God of War series, which, yeah. What were you going to say, sorry, about that?
I was going to say, bro, James Gunn needs to go.
Really?
Matt, have you seen what he's doing with the DCU? Or the DC Universe, or whatever the fuck it's called?
No, I haven't. I mean, I watched Superman.
It's Superman, then Supergirl. Not a bad start, and now we're doing a fucking Clayface film before. I just want to say, if he did the MCU, our lineup would be Captain America, fucking whatever, Booster Gold, fucking the most unknown, bullshit. Probably a villain. Probably Shocker would be in the Avengers too. All around. Yeah. He's anything but just casting Batman. I think he's been I feel he need I think doing a Superman 2 before doing a Batman film is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I think he needs to focus on the big three.
Yeah.
Right now, right? The big main Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman. Though he has started Lanterns.
Yeah.
So I suppose I'll give him that. But I think doing Lanterns as a TV show is kind of crazy because not everyone's gonna watch it, and I've seen no marketing for Lanterns.
Well, wait until we get on to that.
Yeah.
Charles Melton is in talks to play Kakashi in Destin Daniel Cretton's live-action narrative movie on Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and Charles Melton was in Her Private Hell and May December, and one more role away from becoming Jack Slop, is what you said.
Yeah.
Is this that one more role?
I mean, I like anime, but I don't really like Naruto. So
fair enough.
Definitely not. I just don't want him to be cast in X-Men because I've heard he might be Beast. That's sort of the big one. I'm can we just do
Well, you don't want him to be. We don't want him to be cast as Gambit because we want that role.
Yeah, true. No, I want to be Cyclops.
Some more Odyssey news coming as it has made box office history, becoming the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, surpassing Deadpool and Wolverine. Incredibly deserved, to be honest.
No. I mean, more deserved than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been getting clips of Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh my god, so shit. I forget how shit it is at times.
The art book for Spider-Man Brand New Day reveals that generative AI was used in the
I saw
concept
that.
design of New York City for the film. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, surely you just go to New York City and take a photo and there you've got your concept.
Yeah,
Why do we
no,
need AI for this?
I mean, you don't have to pay anyone. I'm not
Not
defending it, but that
yeah.
is how the studios think.
Well, yeah, exactly. But as well, I've heard this from industry sort of professionals. I know I have links. That what happens now is not that I agree with this, and obviously I don't agree with this. But what studios are doing is they use AI to get a rough concept art, and then say to graphic designers, "Go, can you make more concept art off this AI concept art?" And it's like, what?
Especially for it being just New York City, which is a real place. It's not like fucking like a different planet.
Yeah, it's not like Star Wars planet or something.
Yeah, it's not like that, you know, it's like a real city in the United States of America on planet Earth.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
Yeah.
You know how you said that Lanterns had no marketing and barely anyone was going to watch it? Well, it earned 9.3 million views during its first 3 days on HBO Max. It was the biggest ever debut for a DC Studios show.
Really?
Yeah.
I
It
thought
had really good reviews. I want to see it, but I never got around to it.
I watched the first episode. It's aight. It's kind of dick rude. It's
really?
good. It's just like I think I just have superhero fatigue.
Fair enough.
Like I think it's good, but I don't think it's as slow because some people don't like it because it's really slow, which it isn't. And some people I think are giving it a 10 out of 10 when it's just aight. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one really good scene in it though. There's like an interrogation scene, which is class.
Yeah. So June Part 3 will feature 71 minutes of IMAX exclusive expanded aspect ratio footage. Obviously, I've seen about 4 of those 71 minutes already on IMAX 70mm because I saw the June Part 3 prologue, which was incredible. I can't wait for it. And
You know, the prologue at CinemaCon.
Oh, really? So have you seen it?
Well, I saw a cam there, but like I knew what the prologue was.
Okay. Well, you didn't see it projected on 70.
Yeah, but I read an article that just said the whole thing.
Yeah. As well, there's been more GTA 6 leaks. Not right now, but like, within the past few days. But next week, well, you're going to be doing Coyote versus Acme, so do you want to do that?
Alright, so this is my review for Coyote versus Acme. Tagline for the film goes as, the movie Acme doesn't want you to see. After Acme products fail one too many times, in his dog pursuit of the Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote decides to hire a billboard lawyer to sue the Acme Corporation. This was directed by Dave Green and written by Sammy Birch, starring Will Forte, Lana Condor, and John Cena. Okay, alright. I'm going to quickly talk about the production history because, well, more like the cancellation of it, just because that is kind of the main thing about this film that I find the most fascinating. So, yeah, in 2023, Warner Bros. Entertainment announced that the film was completed, but they would not release it because Warner Bros. Discovery preferred to claim a tax loss of about $30 million. This would be the third cancelled film by Warner Bros. Discovery for the sake of a write-off, following Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Haunt. Both, by comparison, never finished post-production. A bunch of people heard that a finished film was not going to be released, and, well, out of curiosity and support of the crew, everyone wanted to see this film, including I. And after a bunch of deals between between Netflix, Amazon, Paramount, which the company wanted $75 to $80 million to sell the film, could, meet the price that Warner Bros. Was asking of. Eventually, though, Ketchup Entertainment decided to pick up the film, and now we have it in cinemas. So yeah, I'm very happy for this film. First thing I will say, the main film I was thinking of while watching this was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Definitely, I think I saw a lot of similarities with this sort of, real life meets cartoons vibe going on. The screenplay is great. It is funny, full of charm, and entertaining. Like, for a courtroom drama, this is so good and like one of my favorites of the year. I found the humor to be really good and really funny. Chuckle a lot of times, to a kids film which I haven't done in a while. I think it's very well written. It was better than Wild Robot. The performances. Will Forte was really good in this film, but I do think he is carried by the supporting cast. Mainly John Cena. I think John Cena has this screen presence throughout the whole film, and he is just so funny. And yeah, I think John Cena in anything is usually pretty good, especially Peacemaker. I really liked him in Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. I'm so glad this film was released. I really hope this does make its money back, because, it is deserving. Is not I'll be honest, out of the other two films that were meant to be cancelled, I think this sounded the best. Also, it's just, it's a very well written kids film, another thing I want to say about the screenplay. The screenplay is definitely the best part of this whole film. I couldn't predict a single thing in this film, which with kids' films, it's very easy to predict some stuff. Even if it's good, you can tell what's going to happen. This decided to, go on. There was literally, I thought I had it figured out, and, it did just went on its head, and I did not expect a single thing. Though I did go into this movie pretty blind. Besides knowing the general premise of Coyote suing Acme for its products, I did not know much else about this film, and what an experience I had. Personally, I thought the supporting cast was really good. As I said, Lana Condor was pretty good. I thought, I thought Tone Bell was pretty good. I just want to say though, is this the year of PJ Bryan, who was also in End of Oak Street? He plays Adam Bork on The Boys. So it was good to see him in this. I'll be honest, I really don't have much to say on this film. Besides, the general gist of I thought the performances were good. People should go see this. So, I'm gonna give Coyote vs. Acme an overall rating of 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely one of the best of the year. Well, hopefully, next week we should be doing. I might be doing the dog stars. I know Benjamin's doing the dog stars, and that's it. So, see you in the next one.